We're going to do exercise and or challenge 3 of the starting point on Hack the Box. I haven't done this one yet, so we're just going to kind of go through it. We're going to troubleshoot, we're going to make mistakes, we're going to have to look stuff up. It's going to be real. So I've got my Mozilla open with Hack the Box. I'm logged in. First thing I got to do is connect to Hack the Box. Starting point. We're using OpenVPN because PwnBox costs money and you only get 2 free hours. Way past that 2 free hours. Default starting points for the VPN server. UDP LEET 1337 is going to be quicker than TCP. It's a fire and forget method, as mentioned last video. TCP uses handshakes as part of its protocol. It's going to be higher quality, but it's not as fast. It ensures connections better with those handshakes. Download. Alright, we got a duplicate, but we're going to use the duplicate. I'm going to hit Alt-T, open up terminal. I'm going to hit Alt-T again, Shift Alt-T? Alt-T. No. Shift Alt-T? Could have sworn it was Alt-T. I'm going to have to look that up. Control Alt-T. Let's not get mad at ourselves. Control Alt-T, boys. There we go. Alright, list. LS. Exploring the folders, the directories, as they are called in Linux environments. CD downloads. Learned last time that the right arrow to autofill seems to be more consistent than pressing tab when you see those gray letters. LS again. Alright. I'm going to run some tests, make sure we've got connection, even though on the right side we clearly have a connection. Let's get rid of this and get ready to start our machine up. We are on dancing. We are connecting using OpenVPN. We've already got it downloaded, but it says we're offline. And that is because we haven't yet started OpenVPN. I'm going to surround this with quotation marks because I don't know if it's going to be happy about the parentheses in this. Sudo OpenVPN starting point Tandies. OpenVPN is an open source VPN platform that you can download on the internet from the OpenVPN website. Tutorials on there, documentation to review, tutorials on YouTube, tutorials on Hack the Box. Like right here, trouble connecting? Check that out. Alright, initialization sequence completed. Control Shift T to open up a new tab. You want to keep this tab open so that the VPN keeps running. Now, let's see here. I'm going to try refreshing this sucker. That looks like a green. I like green. Okay, we're showing a connection here with the IP address ending in 15.235. That should be the TUN0 unless I left some other stuff open. Boom. TUN0 IP address right here is a match. Let's ping that to check it. I wonder what we're working on today. Control C to get out of that. It's a loop. It's going to run forever unless you Control C out. I feel like I should insert some joke about Control C'ing out of awkward situations, but you can't escape unless you press X. But I prefer you just comment if you see anything wrong with the content being provided today. Let's press spawn machine. That's going to create an instance for the hack the box machine, and we got a pwn. And then it's going to give us access to submitting answers for questions. And we are covering today protocols, SMB, reconnaissance, anonymous guest access. We've got the official write-up. Let's take a quick look while the machine's spawning. I honestly don't remember what SMB stands for right now. Boom, turns out stands for server message block. Multiple ways to transfer a file between two hosts. One of these protocols studied in this example is SMB. This communication protocol provides shared access to files, printers, serial ports between endpoints on a network. We mostly see SMB services running on Windows machines. Okay. During scanning, we typically see port 445 open on the target. TCP port 445 reserved for SMB protocol. Usually SMB runs at the application or presentation layers of the OSI model. Print out your own 7-layer OSI model sheet so that when this happens, you can look and say, oh, application layer and presentation layers are up at the top there. Application layer, layer 7 according to this diagram, human-computer interaction layer where applications can access the network services. Presentation layer, which is 6 on the stack, ensures that data is in a usable format, and it is where data encryption occurs. So data encryption is on the presentation layer. All right. I never remember the layers unless I review them. Okay. SMB runs at the application or presentation layers, layer 7, layer 6. Encryption occurs here. This is the human-computer interaction layer, as they phrased it on my handy-dandy printout. Due to this, it relies on lower-level protocols for transport. The transport layer protocol, that Microsoft server message block protocol, is most often used with NetBIOS over TCP/IP. NBT is the initialism for that. This is why during scans we will most likely see both protocols with open ports running on the target. Let's read that again because I didn't understand it. Transport layer protocol, that Microsoft server message block protocol is most often used with, is NetBIOS over TCP/IP. So we've got Microsoft SMB protocol, and we've got NetBIOS over TCP/IP. During scans, I'm guessing like Nmap, which we'll do in a second, we'll most likely see both protocols with open ports running on the target. Let's run Zenmap. Let's do Nmap argument SV, and then let's see if our machine has been spawned. It has. Pressing my mouse to copy to clipboard, Control-Shift-V to paste. Let's try it out. Let's give that a moment. Well, we know this is server message block. What does the 3-letter acronym, is it an acronym or an initialism? Feel free to leave the answer in the comments. Boom. Owned, pwned. What port does SMB use to operate at? I want to have this memorized. Was it 443? It was close to that. 445. TCP is 443, I believe. Let's double check that. Maybe that's HTTPS, eh? Port 443, HTTPS or TCP. What's TCP? It uses transmission control protocol. So different ports are going to generally use UDP or TCP. So any port is going to either be TCP or UDP. Is that correct? I'm just making an assumption here, maybe a deduction. 443 HTTPS, port 80 being HTTP. 445 we now know is SMB, server message block. What is the, oh look, we got the next one coming up right here. So 445 is what we're looking for here. We're seeing 3 different ports open. MSRPC, which I need to look that up. This is the one that was referring to the NetBIOS over TCP IP, which was NBT, I believe, is the acronym. I don't know what that stands for. Session? Just a guess. Let's see. So we've got to put our answer in here, the service name for port 445, Microsoft-DS/DS. What? Let's try it again. What is the service name for port 445 that came up in our, oh, no question mark? I'm using the hint to see that there's no question mark in the answer, which is surprising because it's there in the service name. Not a question. Fact. It's a declaration. What is the flag or switch that we can use with the client utility to list the available shares on dancing? Well, I've never used SMB, but let me try some stuff here. SMB not found. Do we need to install it? Let's go to our walkthrough. OSI model. Oh, look at that. This is where SMB is existing on the 2 at the top there. If you want to learn more about the OSI model, check out the intro to networking. Client server data transfer back and forth, get and post requests. An SMB enabled storage on a network is called a share. These can be accessed by any client that has the address of the server and the proper credentials. Like many other access protocols, SMB requires some security layers to function within a network topology, a network layout. Or if you're looking at the diagram, it would be all the network devices connected with little arrows. If SMB allows clients to create, edit, retrieve, and remove, blah, 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 there's a need for authentication. Since people can manipulate stuff within SMB, they should have an authentication mechanism. At the user level, you need a username and password. I'm guessing we're getting to the guest account. Yep. So we've done our nmap using the same parameters that we learned last video in the FTP challenge. Gave us the information that we were looking for, 445 for the port for SMB. SMB client. Let's try that. I didn't read any of it, I just saw the words. Now I have to click to type it in. An SMB client, question mark. Ooh, look at that. It's juicy. Message, IP address, standard error, list, host, directory, start from particular directory, Samba. I don't know what Samba is, but we'll get to learn about it. Connection options, work group, realm, max protocol, user. I wonder if we're going to be here in a moment. I wonder what the domain is. If the script is not present, well, it looks to be present since it gave us some helpful hints on parameters we could pass. I wonder if we can do, I'm going to press Q to quit. I don't know, that didn't actually work. It just output it to terminal, and my command line was waiting for me to enter the next command below, but it worked either way. I'm going to try SMB client version. There we go. So we know that it's installed using that. That's kind of the standard way that I've learned to check if something is installed, is to check the version. The terminal output is the same, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to keep on moving. Nevertheless, let's use our local username, since we don't know about any remote usernames present on the target host. Next up after that, we're going to be prompted for a password. Hypothetically, if we were a legitimate remote user trying to log in, we would know our username and password and log in normally to access our share. And that's that vocabulary word that I forgot in terms of the exact definition. That seems to be the unit of access that we have to work within SMB. Guest authentication, anonymous. So SMBL is, capital L is list equals host. Get a list of shares. So let's just try SMB client. No, it doesn't like that. Oh, you know why? This is where we gotta plug in our IP address. Let's press up on the command line on my keyboard here. See if I still have this. Yep. Control Shift V to paste the IP address. Alright, so now I think it said we're going to use our standard login. I'm using Kali Linux distro and Hyper-V virtual machine on my Windows box. Let's see. So we entered that. Leave the password field blank. So workgroup Kali. I think it's automatically taking the user. Is that what that means? Yeah, enter workgroup, and then that's our username, and this is asking for the password, and we're going to leave that blank. Press enter. Reconnecting with SMB1 for workgroup listing. Connection failed. Ooh. Let's see, as always, we can type the name of our script followed by -H or help to find out more capabilities. No workgroup available. Okay, so they're seeing the same thing. So this isn't it's not an emergency yet. We will try to connect to each of the shares. So it does give us some information, even though we weren't able to get into SMB1, and that's what we're going to explore next: admin, C, IPC, and work shares. Interesting syntax here with the backslashes. I wonder if it'll explain that. Let's try it anyway. Let's try the admin one. What an interesting syntax. SMB client 234. Target IP, ignore the curly braces. Maybe. We'll find out. Admin $sign is the share name. And I think we're expecting to see access denied. But now we're going to try each one. If we were a hacker, this would be us exploring the system, trying to poke holes into it. IPC, I wonder if C and IPC are related. Well, well, well. Well, 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 well. First thing I'm looking for is how to list out directories. So we're going to look for ls. I don't see ls. Let's look for dir or directory. I don't see that. I see make dir. I see dir. It's at the end. It's just not in alphabetical order. Okay. So we got access denied. Let's take a look at the walkthrough here. Last chance. Let's take a look at the task we're on too. What is the 3-letter acronym? We already did this. What is the flag or switch we can use to list the available shares on dancing? I believe that was L-L. Right up here is what I'm looking at for the parameter or flag or switch or argument. How many shares are there on dancing? I count 4, but maybe only the $sign ones. Okay, no. Work shares is also a share. I was thinking maybe these are something and then this is something else, but they're all 4 considered shares. What is the name of the share we're able to access in the end with a blank password? Was I not able to get into IPC? I feel like I'm in IPC. Let's try buy. Quit. Quit works. Alright. I could have just reviewed stuff here. Seemed like we got into that one, but the hint on task 6 is leading me to believe that it's work shares that we need to get into. So let's do SMB client. Let's autofill that with the right arrow. Type of work shares, title case, which means that each word is capitalized, and nothing. And it looks like we're into this one similar to how we were in the other one. Let's try listing. Ooh, juicy. We've got Amy J and James P. And now if we perform a help command, help. Let's go through this real quick. chown, recognize that one. Open might be the answer to get into one of those folders, those directories. All info, echo, hard link, POSIX, present working directory. Let's just try that one. PWD standing for present working directory. So yeah, we're in work shares, period. Timeout, case sensitive, delete, exit. Exit and quit both work, but buy is FTP's quit command. Looking at the other ones, we got history. I recognize that from Linux. And chmod, dir, ls. We have ls and dir. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got. So we want to answer this. Work shares. What is the name of the share we are able to access in the end with a blank password? I could swear it was also ICP. Was it not? Maybe you can leave some clarification. IPC. Leave some clarification in the comments about that. But it seemed like we got in there too. Just didn't have any juicy goodness inside to look at. What is the file command we can use within the SMB shell to download the files we find? I bet it's get. Is it get? I'm looking at the help list. Get EAS is the 4th, 5th one down on the left there. POSIX. Read is maybe RD, I'm not sure, I'm just guessing. Remove RM, I suppose. TID get. Let's just try. It's one word technically. I wonder if the period's going to throw it off. NT status file is a directory. So let's try. Oh, it's opening remote file amy.j. It's doing something. While it's doing something, let's take a look at what it's saying over here. Got work shares, looking at the help menu. These are the pertinent ones, I suppose. LS, listing contents, or dir, DIR, depending on what you prefer. CD, change directory. Get, to download contents of the directories within the share. So I didn't really need to specify anything. So that threw an error. It wasn't actually doing anything. Let's just do get. Get file name, local name. Alright, let's try amy.j. ls work notes get work notes.txt. So it looks like it's downloading. It looks a little different than if you were to get something via FTP or SSH. Getting file didn't seem to report as completed, but that's okay. Let's try a cd dot dot. The dot dot returns you to the previous directory. Yep, that works in this as well. Let's change directory over to James P. Oops. Did that work? Oh, neat. It did, even though I didn't capitalize it. Okay. Get flag.txt. Haxing away here, fam. Alright. So we got the files that were available. Get is the command we can use within SMB shell to download files we find. It's also the same in FTP. There we go. Ooh, submit root flag. We did it. Alright, we're going to do quit. We got our treasure. I'm kind of curious to see what's in work notes though, right? Is it juicy? Start Apache server on the Linux machine, secure the FTP server, and set up WinRM on dancing. Okay. Let's check out flag.txt with the cat command. That's it. Control C. No, that's not going to work. Let's just right click. It's Control Shift C. Forget that too often. And let's paste it in and submit the flag. So there we go. A little bit of exploration, a little bit of help from the walkthrough, but we learned about 2 layers of the OSI model. We learned some commands to get into SMB, the server message block. We learned that shares are the different maybe groups that one can have available within SMB. Let's take a look. An SMB enabled storage on the network is called a share. So that's the SMB enabled storage is termed a share. Okay. We learned, let's see, list, ls, or dir. You've got change directory, cd. You've got get to download files. You've got quit, all within SMB. Port 445 to perform some basic operations. Let's call it for the day. Good job completing it if you did. If you got stuck somewhere, leave a question. I'll try to help. As you can see, I'm kind of new to this as well, but I thought it was important to stumble through it a bit. Everybody's got imposter syndrome. Whether you're a 10-year veteran or just starting, things are going to stump you. You're going to feel dumb. You're going to figure it out. You're going to feel totally awesome. And then someone else is going to stump you and you're going to feel super dumb again. And it's kind of a roller coaster ride the entire time. But if you feel that way in a cycle, you're likely improving, progressing in a positive manner, upward trend and all that. Have a good day. Learn lots. Leave comments if I said something incorrect. Bye.